Hey, here we are. It is back on a Monday morning. It's property finance Q&A time, and because I do that at around about 8:30, pretty much every Monday morning, holidays, bank holidays, and here with me, trusty cup of tea, which I'll be sipping on as we talk. So, what do? I like rock up here on a weekly basis and answer some questions. Now, it's a two-way thing, you see, because you guys got to ask the questions to enable me to answer them. So I hang around here for, I don't know, typically it's about 30 minutes. Sometimes it's longer because if I get the questions, I'm going to hang around and answer them all because it would be very impolite not to answer them, wouldn't it? So, what do you want to know, guys? What do you want to know? And I'll wait for you to fire up some questions. Sometimes we get them in advance. Sometimes we don't. Now, I've probably got a question come from my Recycle Your Cash property group because loads of people join that. It's over 3,000 people in there, and you don't have to when you're in there. So you don't have to wait until Monday morning. You can ask a question any day of the week because I'm in there pretty much every day. Well, I'm in there every day. So let me just dig out something from there and let's have a look, see what we've got. Let's see what's in here. So hey, I tell you what, before I pull out that question while I'm waiting for someone else, let me give you the link. I'm just popping that in there now. Because if you're not in that group, well, you might like to be, mightn't you? So let me pop that in there now. And we'll just pop it up on screen for you. There we are. So there you go. So you just hook into facebook.com/groups/recycle your cash. Come and join 3,000 plus other people and just fire your questions in there. And, never know, I might pull them up on a Monday like I'm just going to do with Faisal's question. So let me just go back in the group. So he asked this in there in the week, and I thought, yeah, that's a pretty decent question. I answered it, of course. So let's have a look. Just cut and paste that and pop it in here. And we can talk about it on screen while we're waiting for other stuff to come through. Here we are. Just cutting and pasting it now. The wonders of cut and paste. Here we go. So we look at this, which come from Faisal. So Faisal was a member of the group. He fired a question in there, and I answered it. And then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing this week. Because I've got a really interesting week coming up. Let's look at that. Now, if you see me keep looking down there, I've gone back to using my old camera. It's a better quality camera this week. I bought a new screen a few weeks ago. Must be a new monitor, which got an inbuilt cam. I've been using that, but actually, when I've looked at it, the quality doesn't seem to be so good, and I paid a lot of money for this bloody thing. So I've gone back to using it, but I can't get it right on the angle. So I'm going to be looking, when I'm looking to you, I'm not looking directly at my screen because that's there. So if you see me doing this a bit, that's what it's all about. Anyway, let's have a look at Faisal's question. So post-auction deal. So Faisal's got himself a post-auction deal. The auction house fees are £5,000 and the vendor wants 125. He's going to spend 20k on the refurb and he's going to wrap that out in a month. And he reckons the GDV, gross development value, is somewhere about 250, 260. And his goals are to rent out at the end of the refurb and maximise money out in the minimum time. And what the question is, what are my finance options here. So is it cash plus refinance bridge to let, or sorry, buy cash or refinance bridge to let? What would you do, and which brokers would you recommend? So in other words, he's got the cash to do this. He's got the 5k, the 125k, and he's got the 20k. So Faisal's got that cash. So he's saying, should I use that cash, or should I just get some bridging finance to buy it and then do the refurb and then refinance onto a mortgage a few months later? That's a really good question. And I've answered this on YouTube videos before, but as it's been asked here, it's worth answering again because it's not the obvious answer. Now, I would say if you've got cash to buy a property, use it. Why? Because it's got zero borrowing costs. You don't pay interest to anyone to use your own cash. And then once Faisal's refurbed it, he can then go to a mortgage. So his cash comes back out. Okay. Now, if a mortgage is going to, he reckons he can have that work done in a month. So after 4 weeks, he can, if he wants to, he can start the refinance process, because there are always mortgage lenders that will lend within 6 months of purchase. So don't believe anyone that tells you there isn't. Amazingly, I still get people come to me and said, my mortgage broker's told me I can't apply for a mortgage until I've owned it 6 months. And I have very simple advice: sack that broker, because he doesn't know what he's talking about. So any broker that thinks that's the case has a very limited knowledge of the mortgage market. Always have been lenders. Not every lender now, let's be clear on that. Not every lender will lend within 6 months of purchasing it, but enough will. Now, okay, you might have to pay a bit higher interest, but you're saving several months of bridging finance if you've used that, but you're getting your cash back out quicker if, in Faisal's case, he's going to use his own cash. But of course, he could wait a bit longer and let 6 months roll round. So another 5 months after he's finished the refurb, got it tenanted, before he applies, and he will get a wider range of lenders, and he will get a bit better rate, not massively better, but a bit better. So now, here's what I see people say. But if I use my cash, and assuming it's most if not all of my cash, I can't do another deal. So in other words, I might see a brilliant deal, or Faisal, let's use Faisal. Faisal might see a brilliant deal during that refurb. Or at the end of that refurb, I've just finished the refurb. I haven't refinanced my cash out of it. Oh, it's a fantastic deal. I can't do it because my cash is all tied up. Wrong. Let me tell you why it's wrong. Because one of the 5 types of bridging loan that I teach on my Ninja Investor program training course, which is both digital and in person. I've got one of the in person. I do 4 in person courses a year, and the next got the 2 autumn ones coming up. I'm in Ascot on the 23rd to the 26th, so about 3 weeks time. And then I'm in actually Stratford-on-Avon in the 20th to 23rd of November. And then I won't be doing another one until March. But one of the 5 types of bridging is cross-collateral bridging. Now make a note of this, cross-collateral bridging, which means if Faisal finds an absolutely stonking deal while he's still got his cash tied up in this post-auction deal, which sounds like it's gone to auction, no one wanted to buy it, Faisal's just nipped in there and agreed a really great deal, well done, Faisal, then he wouldn't have to walk away from this deal because his cash is stuck in there. He just borrows against that property. Now, he's only put in, 130, 150, but he's got a property worth 250, let's say. Now, he can borrow 75% of that 250 or up to, if he wants to. Now, get my little calculator out here. 250 times 75%. That's 187,000. So he's put 150 grand cash in, but he can actually, while he's waiting for, now get this, while he's waiting for his refinance mortgage to go through to pull that cash out, he can pull out not only the 150 that he put in, but almost another £40,000 on top. How amazing is that? Now, if that's the case, why wouldn't you have zero borrowing costs? Because you might not find another deal. He might go the whole process and not find a good enough deal that he wants to jump in on, and he gets his money out, gets his 150 back out anyway. Plus, he'll get on that sort of deal, if that comes up, if those numbers stack. Not only is it going to be an all money out deal when he refinances, he'll have 35, nearly £40,000 of cash back out. And of course, hey, it's tax-free cash because he's borrowed it. It's not income. So he's grown his cash pot on these numbers. This could be a really amazing deal, actually, because he's grown his cash pot by nearly £40,000, and he's got a free property that he can rent out for a profit for as long as he wants to hold it. Now, this is a massive example of why buy, refurb, refinance, which is the concept that I've been teaching for, probably getting on for 15 years. This is why this is so powerful, because, and I even wrote a book on it. I wrote a BRR book, BRR Refurb Refinance book. You can actually build a whole portfolio from a single pot of cash. How? By doing deals like this, then doing deals like Faisal has found. Do they come along every day of the week? Of course they don't. But how many do you need in the course of a year? If you could buy 2 or 3 of those of this quality in a year, and look, it didn't sell at auction, so no one really wanted it. So there was probably a problem with it that people didn't fancy taking on. And this is absolutely critical to how to make BRR work, is you look and know where to look. And I'll have taught Faisal somewhere in the past where to look and how to do it. But guys, this stuff works. I've been helping people to make really brand new lives for themselves for way more than a decade. So there are. So what would I do? If I was you, Faisal, I'd be using your cash, zero borrowing costs, and so you're saving. That's saving thousands of pounds, because to use bridging finance to buy that, I mean, it's a necessity. It's a necessity if you haven't got the cash. But if you have got the cash, you can literally save yourself several £1,000s by, or Faisal down anyway. Which brokers you'd use? Well, the guys in our brokerage. Trinity for the bridging, Isaac for the refinance. They're amazing. Actually, I've got a Zoom session with them tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to having a Zoom session with them. Tell you a bit more about that in a minute. There we are. Good. So there we are. And I talked about tomorrow, didn't I? So that's a great. That was a great question to start the day off, and it wasn't even put today. It was in my Recycle Cash group. So why don't you come and join it if you're not there already? There you go. Let's put it up again. Facebook.com/groups/Recycle Cash. See you there if you're not there already. So tomorrow, I'm off down to Ascot tomorrow because it's the monthly accountability day for my latest group of Ninja Achievers. So it's probably my top level mentorship. So these guys work with me for 12 months. We meet up monthly. I hold them to account. everyone jumps in a hot seat for anything between 30 and 60 minutes. And we talk about what they're doing. And they set themselves some goals and objectives that they can achieve in 4 weeks. And then in 4 weeks' time, so in November, we'll meet up and I'll be saying to them, okay, well, I'll be saying the same as I'm saying tomorrow because they set some goals in September. So I'll be saying to each of them in their hot seat, okay, so a month ago you said you were going to do this, and this, however many they've said they were going to do, achievable goals within a 4-week period. And I'll say, how do you get on? And do you know what? That really gets results because you don't want to have said in front of a group of people, well, I'm going to do this, and this, and then you don't do it. So it's an amazing concept. And then on Friday, I start a new cohort because I do one in April, one in October most years. So how do we start 12 months? We go away for 5 days and really cook up a storm in terms of what we're going to do over the next 12 years. Not 12 years, 12 months. Well, 12 years, that'd be a long membership, wouldn't it? Next 12 months. Set some really aspirational, challenging, but possibly life-changing goals. And then we work towards them over 12 months. So I'm going out to Chantilly in France to an amazing 5-star hotel. And we're going to have a fabulous 5 days. And hey, do you know what? We're going to go racing too, because there's a horse racing stadium pretty much next to the hotel we're in. And we got meet on Saturday, so we can go. We're going to have a little bet on the GGs maybe. There we are. So amazing week coming up. One of my favourite weeks of the year. I get to spend a day with the current cohort, and we kick off with the next cohort of Ninja Achievers. It's a very special membership. None of this in a room with 60 people, and you know, no one really holds you to account because you can't be held to account in a room of 40, 50, or 60 people, can you? There we are. So what do we got? We're back on there, so we don't want to do that. Hey, Kat, how you doing? So 4 days in Ascot and Stratford, incredible. Yeah, you've been on them, so you know. Can't wait to attend the next one as one of your ninjas for free. Yeah, okay. So one of the excuse me, one of the benefits of being in Ninja Achievers to 12 months is every time I run a 4-day workshop, those guys in that cohort, they get to come for free. So Kat can come to Ascot or Stratford, indeed both. They are real intense pressure cooker days, aren't they? The amount of learning is absolutely incredible. We do long days. We do probably about 10-hour days. So really intense. But the knowledge you get there, you can't get anywhere else. Now, I'm not being big-headed, but there's and that's not my style. But quite simply, there is no other property finance or property trainer from a finance background, from a finance brokering background, that has made this level of commitment to share that finance knowledge and how you get and how you actually do BRR deals. So it's unique learning. I mean, of course, I'm not the only person in the UK with this knowledge, but all the others want to sit in their office and broker deals, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not decrying them for doing so. It's just, for me, the fulfillment is passing this knowledge on to other people in a way that they can actually leverage it, use it, and no exaggeration, change their lives. Hey, Fiona, there we are. See, Fiona's coming with me. Fiona's coming, and you're looking forward to 5 days in Chantilly. Well, I think you should be, didn't you? It's going to be an amazing experience. There we are. So, coming in from YouTube, we've got Gregory. Hello, Gregory. Good to see you. My biggest challenge buying my first investment property to flip is getting accepted on the offer that makes the deal stack. Yeah, okay. It's a challenge. Fully understand it. Any tips or advice? Well, I've got a whole course full of tips and advice, because that's those 4-day workshops, Gregory. That's what I teach. I teach you how to make deals stack. So, first of all, and actually, I have a little training course called 7 Steps to a Predictable BRR Outcome. If you jumped on my Recycle Your Cash store, let me find that for you. Where are we? Just going to find this for you here. Got to type the right thing, of course. Here we go. Right, here we go. That's it. Let's pop this in here. Here for you, Gregory, but not just you. Here we go. So you just go to recyclecash.co.uk/store, and you're going to see some courses there. They're $392 plus VAT. Now, one of them is 7 Steps to a Predictable BRR Outcome. So on that training there, leave that up for a minute. I'm going to record actually 2 more courses to make it 5 courses in total. I've got a recording down Thursday, the day before I fly to France. We're going to do those 2 courses today. Not today, Thursday. So, 7 steps to a predictable BRR outcome. So this is how you get these are the 7 steps to get your offers accepted. Let's go back to your thing. Yeah. So getting accepted. So first of all, you got to find a problem property. If there's nothing wrong with it, then you're not going to make any money flipping it. So you've got to find something with a problem, Gregory. Usually it's, dilapidation. Doesn't have to be. But it's really good if the dilapidation or the problem is severe enough that the mortgage lenders won't lend. Now that's the ballpark where you should be looking. You then have to work out the right amount to pay for it. There's a formula. I call it my maximum offer matrix. You won't find that there yet because I'm going to record it this Thursday. I'm going to record that. It's in my main 4-day training. Actually, we do it on the afternoon of day 2. But I'm going to create that as a little separate standalone course. I'm recording it this Thursday. So if you go to, by the end of this month, you should find Maximum Offer Matrix there as a standalone course. So step 2 is you work out, let's go back to Gregory. Step 2 is you work out the maximum you can afford to pay for it. And then you make that offer. Now, the problem you're having is not that the offers you're making are wrong. It's that sellers are too greedy or too, what should we say, optimistic about the price they should be receiving for their property. Possibly emboldened by estate agents bigging up the value so they get the instruction. So the reason you're not getting your offers accepted is because, assuming you're working it out right, and maybe you are accepted, is the seller. So here's the way I explain it, Gregory. You're telling the seller the truth they're not ready to hear. They don't want to hear their property is not worth what they're asking for it. So they reject your offer. Now, this is perfectly normal and it happens when you're doing things right. So step 4 of those 7 steps is to expect to get rejected. Step 5, here's the critical thing. So here's the thing you're probably not doing. What you're probably doing, because this is what I see most people do, is they find the property, they do the research, they do the viewing, they work out their numbers, they make their offer, it gets rejected, and they go, dear, I better go and find another property. If that's what you're doing, Gregory, that's your biggest mistake. Because here's what happens. It typically takes sellers between 3 and 12 months to realise what the true value of their property is. And then they sell it for that true value. So the key is follow-up. Biggest thing is follow-up. I teach this. All the people I've taught that have been successful, Gregory, have followed up for as long as it takes. Just keeping track monthly of each rejected offer they've made, and phone up the agent. Because here's what happens. Psychological fact. Sellers get exponentially more motivated the longer they can't sell their property. Yep. How do we know? Because every time someone reduces the asking price on Rightmove or Zoopla, they are telling you that's what's happening. And hey, we've all seen this, haven't we? Now, everyone has seen asking prices reduced on Rightmove and Zoopla. Why? Because they were too optimistic about the price they wanted to get, and now they've realised no one's going to pay them that much money for that property in that street. So you just wait. The biggest thing to do, Gregory, well, apart from come and spend some time with me, I'm going to tell you about that right now. Come and spend some time with me and learn how to do it properly, is to follow those 7 steps. Good. And Dennis is it. Hello, Dennis. Great to be reconnected with you, buddy. So looking forward to the Boardroom event in Leeds. Yeah, we're going to meet up. It's been a few years since we last met up. So we're going to meet up in Leeds. Now, when's that going to be? That's the 2nd of November. So now, Dennis is talking about boardrooms. Let me tell you about those BRR Boardrooms. These are a new style of BRR event. I try and give people different ways to get into buy, refurb, refinance. So BRR Boardrooms, new for this autumn. So, hey, why don't you come along and be one of the first people to experience a BRR Boardroom? Now, you can get there by just jumping on here, brrsummit.com. Look, there it is. There we are, brrsummit.com. Pointy fingers all out of focus, but it's there. brrsummit.com, right beneath my name. But while you're doing that, let me tell you about that. So BRR Boardrooms, maximum 10 people. We get together for a day, be over a weekend. I'm doing 18th in Bristol, 19th in London, 1st of November in Birmingham, and 2nd November in Leeds, where I'll see Dennis, and we'll reconnect. Dennis did that 4-day training a few years ago. It might have been 3 days when he did it. So what happens at the Boardroom? Well, I take you through how to make BRR work. I teach you why it's the most powerful concept in property, blows every other concept and strategy out the water, because none of them work. No, whatever strategy you're thinking about or operating, it won't work as well if you can't pull all of your cash out. Like Faisal, I showed earlier, if you can't pull all your cash out of every property you buy, you're going to run out of cash, very simply. And then you're scrapping around trying to borrow money privately and all of this sort of stuff. And that's nowhere near as easy as trainers make out it is on some of their courses. Getting people to lend you 50, 100, 150, 200,000. Way more difficult than they'd have you believe. But you can just keep using your own cash. There's a couple, young couple, Jordan and Eliza, and they've built a portfolio and they've still got their original pot of cash because they pulled it out each time. And that's what you're going to learn. Come to one of those boardrooms, you're going to learn that. But it's not just that. It's not just being in a small exclusive group of just 10 people for a day. There are also 2 pre-events sessions, Zoom sessions in the evening, in the weekend preceding when you're attending the ballroom. The first one we do is a BRR Deal Clinic. So if you're looking at deals, so hey, this will be really useful for you, Gregory, because you can jump on here. You can show me some of these deals, or at least one of these deals that you're looking to do to get to make it work for BRR, buy, refurb, refinance, and I'll validate it and evaluate it for you, so you get some real-time feedback on what you're trying to do, and are you on the right track, or are you pretty misguided and you're just setting yourself up to fail. So that's really good. And then the other pre-event Zoom session for the boardrooms is 3-trigger deal finder. So this is where I show you, and while we're doing this before the event, so when you come to the boardroom, you've got BRR compliant and workable deals already in your kit bag. You might not have viewed them by then, but you can set up viewings. So the subject matter that we talk about on the boardroom day will be that much more relevant, because you can apply it to the properties you've just identified from what I taught you on the 3-trigger deal finder. Now, what do we do there? I show you through a series of filters that most people don't know exist on Rightmove and Zoopla, how to pull up BRR suitable deals, and they're there everywhere. So this is not finding the deals isn't hard. There's a plethora of BRR workable deals out there. Yes, they're going to need negotiating, and it's going to take some time before they land and you get them at the right price. But finding deals really easy. And I'll show you how to. Hey, on that session, Gregory, if you're on one of these days, I'll show you how to get your life back. No more doom scrolling for endless hours a week on Rightmove and Zoopla. I'll show you how to analyze a deal for BRR purposes in 10 seconds. And I'm not joking, 10 seconds. Give you 3 critical things that you can look at on Rightmove or Zoopla. And those 3 things you can determine massively quickly in this is never going to work for BRR. It won't work. Forget it, move on to the next. And you go bang, 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 bang. It's like warp speed property searching. It really is. So there we are. Biggest tip and advice. Hope you found this useful, Gregory. But biggest tip as advice is, I don't know where you live, but if you can get to London, Leeds, Bristol, or Birmingham areas in the next 3-4 weeks, get yourself down to BRR, a BRR board. Go to brrsummit.com, book yourself on. But that's a really good question, Gregory. I like that. It's a really good question. Look, don't think it's you that's doing it wrong, because everyone goes through what you're going through. Yeah, this is very normal. And the biggest challenge is because it's your first deal, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know whether you're doing stuff right, wrong, or whatever. So you could be doing everything right. You're just not seeing the fruits of your labor yet, so we say. Or actually, you could be quite misaligned, but you don't know. So come along, spend a day with me, and find out. There you go. Really great question. Appreciate you popping it in this morning. So we've rolled round past 9 o'clock. Oh, I just found another. Yeah, Cat was out. So Fiona's looking forward to 5 days in Chantilly. Yeah, she absolutely should. And Kat was there in April on the previous cohort, and she said it's the most wonderful 5 days. It absolutely is. Have a fabulous time. I'm jealous. Well, there you go. Can't do it twice in 1 year, Kat. But you could possibly do it next year. You could go for a refresher next April. Just park that in your unconscious mind. There you go. Good. Now, well, what a cracking Q&A we've had this morning. Some brilliant questions, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. We've run over a bit. We often do, really. Not as long as last week, but we've run over. I normally say I'll come in for about 30 minutes. Usually that's enough to get questions answered. So, hey, if you're watching this live and you're thinking, oh, I might have a question, hey, you're going to be quick because I'm shutting down, literally in the next couple of minutes if I don't get another question. Because I've got a very busy week. Achievers tomorrow, recording two new courses. The content's not recording the courses. And then off to Shanti for 5 days on Friday. What a great life, eh? I tell you, it's just fun. I do different events. And this week this month I'm gonna have the two extremes. I'm gonna have the BRR Boardrooms, which is just where a lot of people's journeys start, right through to 12 months Ninja Achievers cohort, which is pretty much the top level course that I do. There we are. So good. Looks like we're out of questions. That's good. I said, it's not good because I'll happily answer more if you've got them, but just pop yourself along. So BRR Summit, if you want to book a boardroom, 18th, 19th, 1st or 2nd of November, check out that website. Just pick out the one for you. Remember, in the week preceding your boardroom date at the weekend, we're doing those 2 Zoom sessions, the BRR Deal Clinic and the 3-Trigger Deal Finder. So there we are. Good. Rob's popped in. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, I don't know whether you can get to one of them, but I'm running a little weekend, so more people can make them. Why don't you book into one of those BRR boardrooms, Rob? Sure, I could increase your learning. So Gregory's back. Well, okay, I'm not finishing quite yet because Gregory, hope you found that useful, buddy. But now, using cross-collateral if a project property is no longer pursuable after purchase due to issues found, is your house now at risk? It is. Yep. I'm not going to sugarcoat this one. But now it is. So you could say, "Oh, that sounds scary," but it isn't really, because you de-risk the possibility of that happening. So the project is. So let's drill down to it. It's no longer pursuable after purchase due to issues found. Right. So you don't find, most of the time, you don't find out stuff that you didn't know before purchase because you have a proper survey done. Now, it might not be a full structural survey, but every offer you make is subject to survey. And that survey could be just a valuation for lending purposes, or it could be a full structural survey, or it could be the builder that you've got lined up, assuming you're not a tradesman yourself. And if you were, nothing much would get past your view. So most of these things, you don't get nasty surprises. You find out before you exchange contracts, and if necessary, you renegotiate the price. Jordan and Elias, I mentioned them earlier, they did exactly that. One of their previous deals, they'd agreed an offer at 110 up in Lincolnshire. Some problems came up on the survey, and they went back and renegotiated it and actually bought it at 95. So they de-risked it by getting the survey done. That might be one of the things that you haven't yet worked out, Gregory, that you need to do. But assuming you, let's roll this forward, assuming you did I'll find something. Usually it's not going to be that it's not pursuable, it's just it's going to cost you more to solve it. So again, from having a position of not having done your first deal, this is a very relevant question. But actually, you just find sometimes you do uncover things, and you didn't appreciate that they were there, they didn't get picked up on the survey. Most do, but let's say, for example, it didn't. What would you do? You just spend the extra money to fix it. Now, you should have built in a decent margin for profit, so you just eat into your profit margin. So there we are. So is your home at risk? Well, not really, because you just sell it. You fix the problem, spend more than you thought you would, sell it, make less than you hoped to make, and you pay back the loan. So in principle, yes, it is. In practice, it's nowhere near risky. But there you go. Great questions. And hey, if you come to a boardroom, you get a whole day to ask questions like that. You can learn. If we can do this in half an hour, imagine if you get a whole day. Never know. Be good to see you there, Gregory. So there we are. So I've got a busy day. I'm off down to Ascot today because I'm to prepare for tomorrow's Achiever session. So there we are. Right. Did you enjoy the day? Great. Book onto a boardroom using brrsummit.com. Check out the products on the little video products on recyclecash.co.uk/store. What else did I talk about? And if you're not there already, come and join my Recycle Cash group. You can ask these questions every day of the week, like Faisal did last week. So all amazing stuff. Have a brilliant week. I'll have a brilliant week. And we'll be doing it next Monday. But I'll be doing it from my hotel in Shanty. There we are. And we'll have just done, that'll be what, day day 3? Yeah, we're on day 3 of the 5-day retreat. There you go. It's going down. Okay. We're going to wrap up today. If you've watched if you're watching this live, if you've actually watched the replay, because I know a lot of people do watch the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I know you've watched it. And I'll be back next Monday. We'll do it all again. Have a great week. See you soon.